and there is still so much to be done to support communities that have been completely devastated by the flooding. Today, political parties were also out visiting the various families who've lost loved ones in the floods. The DA and the IFP were out and about as well. But let's speak to our reporter, Siphamandla Goge, about that. Hi, Sipha. So, family members have also been speaking to the politicians that are visiting the areas. What are they saying?
They are asking and calling for more help. Now, their focus moves from dealing with their grief. They've accepted that their loved ones are gone. They are now saying they are dealing with preparing for funeral services. We visited one of those families that were affected by the floods. The Chilega family in Hammarsdale lost 5 family members. You can imagine the trauma there, losing 5 people at once. Just one night, 5 family members gone. Now they say they need more help to prepare for the funeral services of those that have departed. They are calling on politicians and authorities to assist them with other logistics. Bongam Kize will show you. We are in Hammarsdale here. This is one of the areas that was heavily affected. You can see that even right now as we speak, some of the houses are still underwater or are just emerging. They were covered and underwater for almost a week now. It's taking a very long time for this water to subside. And those who were occupying these houses are still stranded as we speak. They are being accommodated at community halls. Many people here in this area of Hammarsdale have been affected. The Chilega family is also in Hammarsdale. They have said to us when they are preparing to bury their loved ones over this coming weekend on Sunday, and then they are calling for more psychological help in dealing with this trauma. Let's take a listen to one family member explaining.
Uthe uzosiza ngokusingcwabela kodwa njengamanje basephezulu kwamalungiselelo akho lokho ngokusho kwekhansela eliza njalo uzosibheka kusami sebeyithuthile ingane bazise emakhazeni beyisusa kuhulumeni manje sekusele ukuthi kuhlangana namalungiselelo omngcwabo esilungiselelo ukuthi siwenze ngesonto.
Ngesikhathi la idumbuzise emakhazeni kuthatha isikhathi ukuthi bayihlinze kube nokubambezeleka yini mhlambe bidala lokho maniso
bakhale ngokuthi imizimba elimele einhlekeleleni ezihlukene eminingi kakhulu lokho kudala ukuthi ngoba abethu babefike ngasekuqaleni kwathi mase kufika abanye bagcina becindezeleka ngaphansi ngoba bangasabekeki ngohlelo basebebekwa noma kanjani ngezathu sobuningi babo kubephuza ukubathola baze babathola baphelela ngomsombuluko sebe bahlinzeleke baqedile ke izolo ngesaba handover cancelling labathathela babeke icebo lethu.
Sipha, we don't have subtitles on that clip of the family member you interviewed. If you could just briefly tell us what she was saying and then just move on to a little bit more about what the visiting political parties are actually doing to help people. Sipha, can you hear us? All right, so we don't seem to have Sipha, but what we will do is we'll play a clip from Velenkosini Hlabisa, who of course is the IFP president. He was out and about in the eThekwini area today. Let's take a listen.
And the issue of the climate change is an issue that all spheres of government, especially the local municipalities and the provincial government, let us visit all the decisions that were made at a UN level and implement what has to be implemented to ensure that the issue of the climate change is not thought as something that will come in future, but as something that is living with us so that we avoid future disasters of this magnitude.
Yeah, well, certainly the issue of climate change has come front and centre for politicians with what's been happening in Durban. And Sipha, I know we're trying to get you back on the line, but let's listen to a clip from DA leader John Steenhuisen, who was also in the area today giving out water to affected communities.
how do we get our municipalities ready from an infrastructure level? Because what's very clear to me from what I've seen this morning is that there was an infrastructure failure as well. Infrastructure is too old, it hasn't been maintained, so let's get those basics right. And I was just saying, it's very sexy to cut open a combi court or a community hall. It's not sexy to open a sewage treatment plant or a stormwater outlet. But we need to make infrastructure in South Africa the primary focus of municipal government, because I think we could have avoided a lot of the damage that I've seen today with maintained proper infrastructure. Yes.
All right, that was DA leader John Steenhuisen speaking a little earlier, and those clips provided by Siphamandla Goge, who I understand is back on the line. So, Sipa, while we were redialing you, we played the clips from the IFP and the DA, and I was saying that it's very clear now that politicians are extremely mindful of the impact of climate change. I'm going to try you one more time. I think we might have a frozen picture. Let's just see if we can get through to you. Sipa, can you hear me? All right, we have lost Sipa, but thank you very much for those items, very interesting. And of course, later in the programme, we will be speaking to John Steenhuisen about a sort of political focus on what to do now regarding the flooding and the future. We'll also be speaking to a developmental economist and a climate change expert on the Durban floods.